Hey everybody, it's Wayne getting you guys a portfolio update. It's been a little bit since the last time I checked in, and I've made some slight changes here in my M1 taxable account. If you guys are new to the channel, and we do have some new subscribers, my name is Wayne, and in 2020, at the age of 42, I was able to retire from a career in law enforcement, collecting today now $106,000 on an annual basis. Now, having gone back to work full time, I'm now investing nearly 100% of that annual pension, with the goal being to build generational wealth. Go ahead and take a look here at last year's total contributions across my various taxable accounts, pre-tax accounts, tax-free accounts, and now custodial accounts. The annual limit for contributions to a 401k, 457, or 403 was $22,500. Both my wife and I have been able to max out our contributions. My employer also offers the ability to simultaneously contribute to a 403. I've been doing that as well. Last year also was the first time that my wife and I took advantage of the backdoor Roth, and we were able to max out contributions for year 2022 and 2023. And I'll tell you right now, we've already maxed out the $7,000 per account for 2024. And you can see here a lot of what I pushed out in the form of content following my M1 path. I contributed a total of $26,850. And these last two accounts are newly created custodial accounts for both of my kids. Let's go ahead and take a look here. And if you guys have been following me, you know, leading up to the conclusion of last year, I was contributing $125 every single day. That equates to about $625. Let's go ahead and take a look here at the funding history for this year. And you guys are going to see, holy smokes, what gives, right? Why only $500 when obviously in 2023 it was close to $125 every single day? And that's because I have switched up my strategy. Again, the goal being to build generational wealth. And so it became really apparent to me I need to start focusing on getting my kids' brokerage accounts established. And so my son, who just turned 13 a few months ago, I decided to go ahead and switch up my strategy. And rather than contributing the $125 every single day to my account, I am taking that $125 every single day and I'm contributing to his account. Now, his portfolio is really simple. His entire M1 brokerage consists of VOO. And with those daily cost averaging buys that I'm making, he's already off to a strong start. You can see here 10 shares. His average share price is $444. Now, I promise you, even though my daughter has less money in her account, I do not love my kids any less than I love the other one, so to speak. But a little bit different strategy with my daughter. We're actually taking money that we're making by selling options in my wife's account. And that money, that premium that we're able to generate, that exclusively is going to fund my daughter's custodial account. And so you can see here the one ETF that she is going to be funding for the foreseeable future is QQQ, and you can see she's got about 5 shares. Once again, nice average cost of $412 considering it's at $430. Let's go ahead and take a look here at my portfolio. And if you guys have been following even for the last 6 months, you know that I've got several slices here in my M1 taxable account, but really the long-term focus, building these positions that I intend to hold for the foreseeable future, that has been the goal. And this is where we're going to see some slight changes. Let's go ahead and take a look here at the current positions in my long-term holding slice, currently right around 76,000. And you can see XLV, SCHD, DGRO, UNH, Visa, Texas Roadhouse, AVGO, Waste Management, McDonald's, Procter & Gamble, Lowe's, Pepsi, Snap-on, Caterpillar, last but not least, Union Pacific. I want to show you guys here the recent changes that I made in my portfolio. So let's go ahead and take a look here at some recent positions that I've sold off in the last few months, and as recently as this past week as well. I talked about this in my last video. I really want to focus on dividend growth, and I had some great monthly payers to include Stag and Horizon, and they were certainly paying me some very healthy dividends. You can see just with Horizon, I made $831. Stag, I made $572. But ultimately, I sold off all of these positions, and I want to talk about these as well, because this happened in the last few weeks. I sold off AbbVie, Johnson & Johnson, VDE. And specifically, I really wanted to focus on ETFs more than be in these individual medical stocks. And this VDE is an ETF in the energy field. But you can see here, I freed up about $45,000 in cash. And so what I've been able to do is redistribute that to my long-term holdings. Now, truth be told, all of these holdings were not in the long-term slice. Some of them were in the quarterly slice. Some of them were in the monthly payer slice. I'll go ahead and give you guys a rundown. The goal that I had last year for dividend income was to make $15,000. And if we look here, I've had some significant gains since I began my investing journey in 2021. This was my total dividend income haul for that year, about $1,300. It jumped up to $8,800. It jumped up to $16,000. I do not think I'm going to have a significant increase like we saw from year over year past. In fact, my goal for this year is $17,750. Now, because I've removed a lot of those monthly payers to include STAG, to include Horizon, I also had some higher yielder positions like Acre, and you can see ARCC was at 10%, GLAD was at 9%. So yeah, I definitely want to reach that goal of $17,750. It could be higher though if I had held on to these high yielders, and that's not something that I want to do moving forward. So essentially in the last couple of months, in my M1 taxable account, I've been able to have about $45,000 of cash on hand. And rather than just making one jumbo buy when I sold out of these positions, I have slowly been distributing that money back into my long-term slice. Let's go ahead and show you guys here all of the trading in the last couple of weeks. Now, the exception being, take a look here on February 16th, I decided to sell out of VDE. I talked about this. This was the Vanguard's energy ETF. And ultimately, I just didn't want to have these types of positions, even as an ETF. I think it's just too volatile of a market. I think there's so much political component to gas, oil, energy. And so ultimately, I'd rather just focus on ETFs like XLV, SCHD, and DGRO. And as a matter of fact, if we go back here to my portfolio, those are going to be the total amount of ETFs that I hold in my long-term hold slice. I only have, I believe, 3 ETFs. Again, XLV, SCHD, DGRO. And I think for the foreseeable future, those are only going to be the 3 ETFs that I keep. Now, anything can change, and if you guys have been following me longer than 6 months, you know that I've recently made some changes, throughout the year of 2023. But this right here, I'm very, very happy with these holdings. And you can see here every single day, I'm still buying $125 in this long-term focus slice. I've got about 7,000 and some change left over. Again, this goes back to, I originally had about 45,000 of cash, but I had been making steady purchases, essentially redistributing all of that money into this long-term slice. What I really want to continue doing is funding my son's custodial account. Again, with him being 13 years old, I don't think it's impossible to imagine that in 5 years, he could have anywhere from $150,000 to $200,000 exclusively in that one ETF. Let's go ahead and jump over to Robinhood. We'll try to keep this video as short as we can. You can see currently total portfolio value is at $407,000. If you guys have watched my last video, you know that I'm primarily using Robinhood to sell options, both covered calls as well as cash secured puts. So let's go ahead and break down the account, showing you guys how much of this $407,000 is comprised of stocks and options and cash. You can see here I'm sitting on about $48,000 in cash, which, by the way, this number has dropped about $14,000 because, again, I just funded both my wife and I's Roth account. The maximum limit for 2024 is 7,000. So how cool is it that I was able to fund that 14,000 exclusively from premium that I've been able to earn in the last couple of years, selling covered calls as well as cash secured puts. You guys are going to have to watch that video. I just posted it this past week. Let's go ahead and take a look here at the biggest holdings within my Robinhood taxable account. Remember, I've got several positions in other brokerages. This is just in the taxable account. Microsoft, by far my biggest winner. So was Meta, Amazon, Celsius, and Apple. Let's show you guys the 5 biggest losers because we have those as well. Tesla continues to be a big problem for me, and I am down significantly to the tune of minus 23,000. And there's really nothing I can do. I do not want to sell. I, think maybe foolishly that Tesla will bounce back in share price. But if it does, I'm going to continue selling covered calls, not below my cost basis. That's gotten me in trouble as well, but I'll save that for the next video. UPS is also down, but I'm actually currently averaging down as much as I can. In fact, I am buying $25 every single day, Monday through Friday, trying to work down that average share price down from 180. Currently, it's at 148. Pfizer's down. Chewy's down. CVS has been, a loser for me the last year and a half. I'm not quite ready to average down, so we'll see what CVS does. And then let's get you guys a look here at the projected dividend income I can expect to receive. Currently, I'm only set to make $15,158. I say only because, again, the goal for this year is to make $17,750. I certainly want to beat what I made last year, but I still think that it's a reasonable goal for me to try to get to $17,750. And there you have it, guys. I hope you guys are having a fantastic holiday weekend, and we'll see you on the next one.